What's going on, family? Thank you for tuning in to today's live. You're locked in with the Coach Smook Network, and I'm your host, Coach Smook, your favorite Alabama insider and sports media personality. Before we get rolling, do me a quick favor. Tap that like button, share the stream out, and if you're new here, make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you never miss any of the action. Now listen, if you really rock with what we're building here, I invite you to take the opportunity to support the channel by becoming a member of the AAA family. Our mantra is authenticity above all. Everything we do, our content and our community, is built on creating and enjoying quality, authentic conversations, real insight, and real information surrounding sports entertainment. Your membership directly assists in the growth of the Coach Smook Network, and every hard-earned dollar you contribute is not only appreciated, it's paid forward. We proudly make monthly contributions to various community health and awareness organizations because impact matters. If you want to get even more involved with the community, be sure to join our Discord. You can type the command right now in the live chat or head over to our main YouTube page and click the Linktree link in the description. And for those who want to support the network directly, you can donate through multiple options: Venmo, PayPal, or Cash App. Every bit of support helps us continue to grow and elevate this platform. Thank you all for the love and the support and the energy you bring every single time. Now buckle up because it's time to get into the show. Somebody type it in the chat. Say, put me in the game, Coach Smook. Let's get it.
Remember, when you see me in the streets, holler at me. Say, put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Like, share, subscribe. You know we keep it live.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. 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 Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Like, share, subscribe. You know we keep it live.
What's up, AAA family? Welcome in. It's your boy, Coach Smook, here on the Coach Smook Network. I just took my do-rag off, so I got the red mark on my head, y'all. I got the red mark. I was rushing, trying to get back to the platform, y'all. We had a very eventful morning. The last hour of preparation has been very eventful. But thank you all for showing up today, man. We're live on both sites, man. I gotta put my hat on. I can't sit here and look at my red forehead right now. And y'all better not start laughing. We cannot do that right now. Listen, I knew it was gonna happen. We got Jordan and Amanda and Mary J back there in the back on the ones and twos. Y'all give it up for our production crew. Show is going to be crazy today. I already know it. We're going to be having comments, everything. We got the banners, we got tickers. It's going to be a crazy good show. Welcome in, though. Welcome in this morning. I'm excited. Got my workout in this morning. Got ready. We got our confirmation for our travel to the scrimmage today. Spring Scrimmage number 2. Give it up for the Crimson Tide, man. A lot of energy going into today's scrimmage. I'm excited more so just to be able to be on campus 2 days in a row. I mean, 2 days in 1 week, 2 days in 1 week. And the type of schedule that we've been on, man, tight schedule. We don't get to roam as much as we do, but being that we've been there a lot over the past 3 years now, it's kind of becoming like a thing. You know, the excitement's still there, though. I still get that same energy, that same fire every time I step on the capstone. So today, making our presence felt today, and just going to be evaluating and getting some insight for you all. And I gotta start the show off with just acknowledging our supporters, man. I appreciate y'all so much, man. Y'all are doing a great job. We are on our way to yet another subscriber goal. I woke up and I haven't done it in a while. I finally looked at the subscriber count, and yesterday we took a big jump, man. We're 4 away from our next goal. Continue running likes up if you're here on the YouTube side. TikTok, thank y'all for tapping in. Colton, Muffin Cakes, Crazy, Two Sagittarius, Bama Me. What's that? Bama Mike. Appreciate you for tapping in over there on TikTok, man. I just hit my boy back with a follow. Appreciate you for pulling up, man. I got the hiccups all of a sudden. It's all this excitement and adrenaline going through my body and my brain. I don't know. Maybe I just need a side. Hey, let me point to. Can y'all see the new logo? Can y'all see? Y'all like the new logo? Come on now, get fire emojis in the chat if y'all feeling it, man. It's pretty neat. Pretty neat. Got our we getting our graphics skills up. You know what I'm saying? We trying to utilizing a little AI sometimes, right? A little AI, but overall, we're utilizing a new editing software, and we've created our logo. Shout out to Thad, our graphic design manager, getting us the base blueprint for everything, and we're doing some great things with all of the graphics and stuff you're seeing on scene, and he's pushing me to just create another skill set for myself. So I appreciate y'all for being here. Let's get a roll call going, man. I'm ready to get into this show today. I'm ready to get on the phone lines. I've been talking to our supporters behind the scenes. We've been talking live on the phone lines. Speaking of the phone lines, shout out to Zach and Coach Shep on the phone lines. What that was that Wednesday when we had the phone call show? Or was that yesterday? If you have not seen the new show that we put on the page, mind y'all, man, we are not journalists. I need y'all to understand that we are not journalists. I am a media personality. I do media coverage, and I provide insightful insight with the knowledge that I gained from being and from having experience at playing at multiple levels. So that's all I am. I'm not trying to be no journalist. I ain't trying to be no news outlet, none of that. No, I provide it with that type of delivery, but that's not. We just talk about what we know and what we see. We get to see a lot of things, and so that's what we talk about. And I appreciate y'all that appreciate that and understand that's what Coach Smook Network is about, networking. We network with people that write. We network with journalists. We network with people that have a strict boundary of how they move and operate and what they can present as far as content. That's what we do. We network with those people, and we provide y'all a different angle on how to approach those things and see those things. So that's what we try to acknowledge here. Okay, authenticity above all, an authentic approach to sports coverage, especially our Alabama Crimson Tide football program. So we appreciate y'all that. We appreciate y'all for that. We appreciate y'all for that. Now, roll call. Shout out to my guy Dominic tapping in over here on the YouTube side. Roll Tide, good to see you. Ken, the Bama fan, my guy. Oh yeah, Ken know what I'm talking about. Roll Tide, Ken. Khalil Cooper, my guy. Roll Tide, man. Good to see you, Khalil. Where the wristband at? Listen, we got to get some wristbands. Y'all, we got AAA wristbands being made. I'm going to tell y'all right now. And our members, if you've been a member for more than 12 months, do not worry about purchasing one. I promise you. Once we get that bulk load in, I promise you, however many you want. You've been a member for more than 12 months, you can get 12 of them. You can get 12. Mary J, ship 12 of them. Give them 12. Zach, you're going to get 27 of them. You've been here since the start. What's up, Zach? Roll Tide. Good to see you, man. My guy, Kurt TV Free over there on Kick. My first Kick comment of the day. So we must be doing something. We getting comments on all platforms. D. Martin, my brother. Where's your, he picked up that wristband. Hey, I hope everything got situated with that. Happy Good Friday. Yes, this day is the day that they try to tell us what's the day that, we go get into that. When Jesus went down to, y'all want me to tell the story? Or we gonna wait till, because I'm doing a live Sunday morning. We can wait till Sunday morning. Good Friday, everyone. Let's all have a blessed and great day. Roll motherfucking Tide. Roll Tide to Kinesis, man. Appreciate you. Hey, Kinesis, Shep said he wants your head on this chat, man. He said he's going to have to call in and answer to some of the stuff you were saying to him in the chat. Shout out to my one of our co-producers, junior producers, and one of our executive assistants, Amanda, back on the ones and twos. She said, Roll Tide and have a good Friday. And I know everybody getting ready for all the Easter festivities and stuff. And I pray y'all have a safe and blessed weekend, man. Good morning, Mary J on the ones and twos, man. Making the channel running. Shout out to my guy, Bama Mike. He's loading up the gifts right now on TikTok. Shout out to you, my guy. Let me point this way so it can look like I'm pointing at you. Do it look like I'm pointing at you, Bama Mike, when I point this way? It look like I'm pointing at the gifts that's coming on the screen? Yeah. What's up, Urban Essence? Good to see you. Roll Tide. Good morning. And for everybody that's watching this post live, fast forward to the 15-minute mark. This is my roll call. I got to introduce and shout out everybody that's showing up to the live chats. I got to. Shout out to my brother Jordan, our executive producer here, On Screen Production, Management, all that good stuff. The Kanisa said, let's go. I missed the comment. That was somebody else. I seen they had a fire little Bama logo. You skipped over. Somebody skipped over. Right? Go back up to, it was two previous. Appreciate those gifts over there on TikTok too. Bama Mike. Make sure y'all continue to share the stream. Jerry too. Appreciate the likes on the stream over there on TikTok. Thanks, my guy. Thank you. What's up, Michael Smith? My guy, good to see you. Here you go. Fo God, appreciate you. Fo God for life. Appreciate you. That's a member right there. You gotta be paying attention so we can get these comments. I gotta acknowledge all my people, man. AAA family is deep this morning. Yeah, I'm gonna have to call in one day before the season starts. You gonna have to call in soon, because Shep wants your neck, brother. He wants your head. Britt! That's my sister, man. She showed text me early too. Text me, y'all. She made sure I had a meeting yesterday, and we made sure we got to it yesterday. So let's get into the show, y'all. I know these y'all want to know what we talking about today. Let's see. How should I approach this today? Knowing what we know, knowing how we're going into this today, right? I think today's conversation can basically be one of those things where we can set our expectations, right? We can set our expectations for what we expect from scrimmage number 2. Now, we all know traditionally, this is the scrimmage where you get your primary start of your storylines for what's going to develop into the fall, especially when it comes to our quarterback competition. And I'm sorry, Facebook family, I didn't even see y'all over there. Ever Rothschild over there, give it up for them. Greek Hughes, Kelsey Shepard, Rico Mitchell. Make sure y'all tap in on the YouTube side for me. Everybody on the other platforms, I love the activity on the other platforms, but YouTube is how we drive. Okay, this is the engine to the Coach Smook Network. Appreciate Anointed Gaming for tapping in too, man. Hey, Anointed Gaming, we gotta get up too. We gotta get up. Game the community. Got some things popping. I got a whole group of people that's ready to do something for the Coach Smook Network. No egos, none of that. Just great content ready to be created, and I think our community is ready for it. Bama Boy and GA, good to see you. Roll Tide. Can I do an intro real quick? I love acknowledging y'all. I got to do an intro. But today being scrimmage number 2, we know traditionally, y'all, that we get most of our insight and most of our storylines from the second scrimmage. That's when staffs are kind of starting to build towards game planning phases of development, right? Starting to prep for week 1. We're in April. What are we trying to build on for our first matchup against East Carolina? What are we trying to build on as far as our identity is setting the tone for each phase of our team? Offense, defense, special teams. You get to see that. This scrimmage we'll be able to finally get what a lot of people aren't talking about. We'll finally get some insight and some looks at what the special teams, the kicking game looks like. Everybody's asking about the placement kicking. We got a transfer in Quinn, and we got Talty still there. You got Asproff, he's back. As far as the punting game, got a new long snapper, which is the key part of the special teams, and that whole trend, that whole play, that whole phase of the team and its development. So we got to get into a lot of conversation today. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to project our depth chart on both sides, and just things to look for. Then we're going to open the phone lines later in the show. We're going to open the phone lines. Today is an open call segment. So got to be first in. You got to be first in when you hear somebody on the call. Once you're on the call, make sure you know the topic of conversation. What are some things that you're expecting from today's scrimmage? What are some things you're looking for? What are some things that you need answers to? And what's the most important thing that needs to be kind of established or headed towards being established? For instance, a lot of times we talk about the offensive struggles last year. Everybody likes to go straight to the offensive line. So today, I know a lot of fans would love to hear, hey, how's the offensive line look? Who's the true 5? Like, what's the best 5 look like? And being with that, like I said before, we talked about this once the portal window closed and we looked at the final roster and the early enrollees have been in on campus, and we saw the roster about a week before spring practice was kicking off, and all the different size changes and different changes in weight, how guys had changed their bodies to get ready for this spring. And we made a projected depth chart, but we also talked about this offensive line and how many guys they went in the portal to get that are day one ready type guys. How many experienced and veteran guys, how many young guys who didn't get a lot of experience but have a high upside, right? So what you lost in the portal and to the draft, I think you overcompensated, and that offensive line competition is getting heavy. So we got a lot to talk about today, y'all. So with that being said, I appreciate y'all for being here today. Once again, do not stop tapping that screen on TikTok. Make sure you check in on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. We appreciate y'all for tapping in. Let's get into this show and type it in the chat. And I need y'all to type it and say it loud, man. Somebody say it for me. Let's get into the show, man.
You talking about Jalen Milroe and the Pips?
The perfect weak side linebacker, right? Put him next to the mic.
Not going to take us a lot of time, but I want to say that I'm excited about what.
Okay, forgive me, my brother. What's on your mind?
Oh, I'm good. I'm just still sorry for all the other content creators now that we have this mega star back in our presence.
All right, chat. So, call-in line is not live yet. I know y'all see the number. This is the prep, y'all. Y'all need to save this in y'all phones. If y'all have not saved the Coach Network in y'all phones, y'all not real supporters. I'm just saying. Don't quote me on that. Just know, if you have not saved this number in your phone, because we family, right? But I do want to acknowledge something before we get into the sports talk. I got to acknowledge something. This was brought to my attention, and I got to announce my appreciation for how this was handled today. So everybody knows that I do everything that I do, right? The way that I do it, if you have public access to YouTube, you have access to our public videos, right? But if you really support, you support by becoming a member of the AAA family. Click the link in the chat to join. Now, there was some claims that we had been sharing video footage from the sidelines of during our visit this past Wednesday. Everybody knows, members, mods, everybody knows that's not true. They know, the ones that need to know, my staff, they know what our restrictions are when we are on campus. So I appreciate my buddy Clint Lambert. I didn't edit the clip. I just wanted to get a clip, but I want to use this as an example of a professional, being authentic, right? And sharing their perspective without coming off as a, taking a jab or trying to belittle me, right? Not, because people say some outlandish stuff about Coach Smook, and I don't acknowledge half of the crazy stuff that's thrown out there about me. They love to talk about being a fake insider and all that stuff, but I kind of like, I let it go because it's free publicity at the end of the day. But I appreciate Clint Lamb for doing this, and I'm gonna try to find so we don't waste a lot of time on it.
About Terrence Green. Real Talk Bama, were you with Coach Smook Wednesday during practice? He was on the sidelines with Castile and Duval, posted some crazy good clips in Discord. No. And if the coaching staff knew that, they would not be happy about it. It's a great way to advertise for him, but I know that there were some things that were posted and the coaching staff wasn't happy. I don't know if the coaching staff knew that, or I don't know if the people in the building even knew it was there. And I don't know that they'd necessarily be okay with it, which is fine. He does, he works extremely hard. Me and Coach Smook, we don't have any problems. But yeah, I don't think the coaching staff would be very happy about this.
And so I appreciate that. And this is why I have to do this live. I'm not going to get into no back and forth with Clint. He does great work. They do great work. Clint, Jimmy, Luke, all those guys, man, they do great work. We just got done promoting these guys' content. I saw some clips. I always see shorts of Clint when I'm scrolling on YouTube of things that he's talking about when it comes to the depth chart. And we kind of have the same mindset and what we see from our angles and how we approach. Now, this is credential media, speaking on media personality, right? and he understands the difference. So I appreciate that for Clint acknowledging that. And he's right. He knows that I know that there are restrictions when you are invited to Alabama's campus, whether it's practice, as a visit with recruits or whatever, which I've been on multiple recruiting visits with recruits. I've been there for practice. I've been there as a guest. So it's no secret, right? And we don't use that time there to try to sneak information. We network, we talk. We have people that talk to us, right? And that's I appreciate what Chris Lowe does on such a high level, right? If you see Chris Lowe tweet anything, it's 100% sure. Now, if I ever have went against what Chris Lowe said, is not to say that he was lying about something. It's something deeper than what he's able to release. It's not that I'm going against him. He just not giving y'all the real. He giving you the PR version and the proper way to do it from the stance and the lane that he operates in. Same thing Clint is doing here. So check this out. I want to acknowledge this because I got a message from
everybody for
I don't want to acknowledge
Appreciate
it. I don't want to say your
support.
name. I don't want to say your name. If you want to step out there and say who you were, I appreciate you for bringing this to my attention because I was actually sitting right here, just got back from the gym, prepping for the show. And I got the message on Twitter and I caught Clint live. And so I went in and I tried to find him. I found the clip clearly. And I went in and I said, I saw how he responded and I appreciated it. So I went in and I wanted to see if he was going to acknowledge me. You know, I wanted to see if, because it's other content creators that have YouTube pages that say they don't watch my stuff or they don't care about me. But why are you blocking me? I don't hate on nobody, you know. So I went in the chat, I said what I said, and
Coach Smook
was
did hop on here and clarify, and I want to be sure to give the other side of that as well. He said, "Hey, bud, appreciate the clarification on the post in my members Discord. There was no video footage posted from my visit this past week." Okay, yeah, and that's I figured as much. We both know that they're not about it, so I appreciate. And he also said, "Appreciate the love too. Keep up the good work. Appreciate you as well. Appreciate everybody who is."
Yeah. So shout out to Clint Lamb. Get that man a hand clap there. Give him shout out to Clint Lamb. And Crimson, is it? Oh my God! Please don't let me say the wrong page. I don't want to say the other page because that was a little thing too. Don't laugh, y'all. It was a little thing, and I'm real big on making sure everybody's stuff get acknowledged. But shout out to Clint Lamb, Jimmy Stein, that whole network. And that's a lie don't care who tell it. That's right there, Britt. But I just had to acknowledge that and just give flowers where flowers are due, y'all. That's the authentic side of me. A lot of people expect me to come on here and be trying to create drama. I'm glad that I was able to catch that live and didn't allow a bunch of different things be posted because I know that's what's going to try to happen. People are going to get on Twitter and try to use what Clint said, just that part, and act like he was calling me out or something. And I know that's not the case. Me and Clint have each other's numbers. Any misunderstanding we had in the past, we've talked to each other when there was a big misunderstanding, with the third party. And we handled it like men. And like he said, there's a mutual respect for what each one of us do. He doesn't do things the way I do. I don't do things the way he do. And I respect. Cover Crimson. Yes, Cover Crimson. I wanted to make sure I said the right one. And I appreciate them for clarifying that for us. But let's get into our show, man. Let's talk about it. Today we have the Alabama scrimmage number 2, y'all. Alabama scrimmage number 2. What are we looking for, man? What are we looking for when we talk about the scrimmage today? Number one, I talked about this a little bit early on. I keep talking about it. I'm excited about it, but at the same time, this part of the team has the most questions, and that is the first team offensive line. We need to establish, and like most fans, I'm in favor of, I'm not against having a solid 6-7 man rotation in the offensive line. I'm not against it, but I'm more so on the mindset of get your best 5, allow them to establish rhythm, build off of that, build the momentum with them, allow that chemistry to continue to get established from week in to week out. And then with your practice reps, when those starters need those recovery days, you can get those second and third guys in there during the week and get them live reps against the opposing scout team ones or ones from the defense, depending on how you prepare during the week, as far as your competitive periods go and team periods go. So I look at it and I say, today the offensive line has an opportunity to really establish, or we have an opportunity to see where the offensive line has come as far as their development and who that group looks like. I project that offensive line to be, and we could put our offensive line, our projected depth chart. Even with the past week of practice, I still think our depth chart is pretty much where it stands right now. With the offensive line, left tackle being Lloyd Jackson, left guard being Nick Brooks, Rasheen Dalgatti being the starting center, Mal Waldrop being the right guard, and Michael Carroll being that right tackle. That's what I expect to come out and trot out as first. Now, there was some reports that we had a few guys get nicked up. Not anything serious. I know EJ Crowell has been limited all spring, gave it a go last week, got a few good reps in there. Not anything explosive from him, but people are excited to see his upside. But even with his limitations, you can see what he's doing. But I look at the offensive line. I think a lot of the excitement about the running back rooms is or what the running back and what's in that room is because of what we see happening at the competition at the offensive line, right? I look at our roster and I'm gonna pull up my notes from the other day, and I'm gonna call these numbers out. Make sure I don't call out the wrong numbers. Okay, 54, 52. So that's Waldrop and Javen James on the left side at one point, right? On the left side of the offensive line at one point. Could we see that pairing? Like, I wouldn't be surprised with Michael Carroll getting some work at right guard. You had 64 at guard. You had, I think it was 73. I want to say 73 at tackle. 73. It was either 63 and 70, 64 and 73, or 63 and 73. One of those. It was with that pairing, and that's Michael Carroll is 63. Michael Carroll is 64. You had 64 and 73. 64 or 73. That pairing of offensive linemen was part of that second rotation. So I believe that's Michael Carroll at guard, right? And then you got Ty Haywood at tackle. But then also the young guys, man, Cooley, he's flashing. He's showing some of that early surge to compete at the tackle position. Same with Booker, the true freshman, at the guard position, just the motors. And then you got mainstays who can play at both guard positions if that's where you're seeing your most competition or your least bit of cohesiveness. You're trying to find the best, two out of that group of 5 or 6 that you really feel like can play for you. This is going to be a quality day to really evaluate some guys. And I think you're going to get quality evaluation and a good insight because of the amount of talent on the defensive line. Let's talk about the defensive line. What type of rotation? What's up, Jason? Good to see Jason. Y'all, my brother Jason from the dead, brother. Give it up for Jason. All the friends Jason in the chat. Rise from the dead, from the ashes. Shelly Rise, my brother. Hey, y'all, continue to share the stream over here on YouTube. Share it on Facebook. Share it on all platforms, y'all. We need to continue to run the likes up. We're trying to reach a goal, 25 likes on stream. Also, don't forget that you can donate to the live stream by supporting through Super Chats, Venmo, PayPal, or Cash App. We accept all of them. We appreciate each and every one's support. Now, let's talk about the D-line, y'all. When I think about the D-line, and I look at the amount of depth, keep talking about it, and I know y'all getting tired of me just saying the same thing, but seeing Jeremiah Beeman out there getting more and more reps as far as the individual, how many reps he's getting in practice, knowing he's working back from that big injury from last season, and they're trying to do their best to keep him fresh, but at the same time, keep him, in the shape of being ready to go in the fall, right? And with the amount of defensive linemen in this room, the amount of talent that we went out in the portal got, but also in this freshman class that seems to be pushing and developing it in the right trend, giving London Simmons type feels, giving Asaya Fega type feels in this year's class, I think we're going to see a great competition today in spring. And I'm gonna go down the list. I got my roster up. It take me forever to find this file every day, and I swear I leave it open. I swear I leave it open. So starting off with some of your more senior assets with Terrence Green, Edric Hill, Jeremiah Beeman. You're talking about Jeremiah Beeman and Terrence Green are two of my big names on the interior of that defensive line, man. I think those are going to be the guys that really set the tone. London Simmons being limited right now in practice, I think he's going to be coming back primed and ready to be right there in that rotation on the interior. But Edric Hill is a versatile defensive lineman. A guy sitting right there, he's bandit size. You're going to see him play a lot of bandit rotation. But when we go small and you put that possibly that extra pass rushing asset, the extra big wolf over there at the bandit, you're going to have a guy like Edric Hill at the defensive tackle. And we saw his penetration ability. We saw him being able to shed blocks, get to the ball, especially in the run game when we had light fronts, right? Him, Asaya Fega, London Simmons, they did extensively good jobs. And you can go and watch clips. We saw clips on other platforms. We reacted to it on how they was breaking down Alabama's defensive line problems. And we saw why London Simmons was deserving, because he and that group of players we just mentioned, they displayed that. Terrence Green comes from Oregon with those same assets. Then you talk about Devin Tompkins right there in that defensive line room. We talk about the young guys, Corey Howard and Mari Johnson, both flashing. You see 26 and 32 on just about every clip for a reason. These guys, there's something to watch. There's something to watch, rep for rep. When they're doing a lot of their work against the 2s and the 3s on the O-line, yes, it's against 2s and 3s, but these are true freshmen we're talking about. These are two freshmen. Guys that we're waiting to see kind of just finally get an opportunity and see what they bring to the table. Steve Bowler. Steve Bowler is one that last year we didn't get to see a lot of, right? Now that competition is basically wide open. You're going to get Devin Tompkins, a mainstay at the bandit position, I truly believe, right? He can play that D tackle position, but I think he's a mainstay at the bandit, right? And you got Fatua Henry coming back. He's going to be big wolf bandit. John Latham, he's back. Prayers up for him and his family. Big wolf bandit asset. That the defensive line, the front, the defense. I'm not going to say D line anymore. The front, the defensive front, the 4-2-5, the defensive front is going to be a group to really watch. And because of the talent in that room, Desmond I keep forgetting to Desmond Yu. I don't want to call him Desmond Zoo. Somebody else stole my spark with that one. Desmond. I'm telling you, man. You see Nano coming off the edge. You know those numbers usually coming off the edge. They usually pretty good guys, right? They're usually pretty good. Even at Bama, the single-digit numbers coming off the edge, that's scary. Yanzi Pierre, you got 0 and 9 coming off the edge. It's about to get crazy. But I think with Desmond Zulu and Desmond Yu and Devin Tompkins being mainstays at bandit, Tompkins will get a lot of defensive tackle reps. Him and Jeremiah Beeman, Terrence Green, London Simmons. The rotation can be versatile. So we'll get a very good look at that. And we've seen them kind of move it already like that in some of the early teams periods. These guys really float across their defensive front. And you're talking about gap killers, guys that really can get skinny and still maintain momentum and power and create havoc in those gaps. In a scheme that needs that up front, so your linebackers don't have to be, solely run support assets. When you got that type of penetration and activity up front with your D-line, it could get extensive. Let's go back to the offensive side. We talked about the O-line. Let's talk about the running back room. I'm excited. Today, I feel like today there'll be more so a focus because of the crowd. I believe in psychological aspects and when it comes to coaching, right? And presentation is huge, right? Knowing that you will have media members and people like myself at this event or at the practice or whatever. You're going to have parents talking to family members. Some family members can't hold water. You're going to have equipment managers talking to family members, about what they saw, and everybody's going to have message board material and all of that. Today, I think more so today, because of the hype around the quarterback battle, I think what they saw last week gave them a great projection of how they're going to build past that once this practice is over, right? I think you'll see a solid number of passing plays, but as far as giving the quarterbacks a heavy load to kind of present opportunities for them to be explosive today, I don't think so. I think today there'll be an intentionality on finding out your offensive line, defensive line, the intensity level you can get to with that, in your rotation kind of established with that, where those guys see them, but also with the running backs, starting to see what the vision looks like. What are we working with as far as these guys with live action, knowing that we're going to go heavy load run, right? What is their vision looking like? Because it's not just for the running back benefits. We're going to talk about everybody else benefits for having a practice like this. But running backs in particular, right, you get to see, okay, physicality is something that we lacked in the run game last year, right? Decisiveness, right? Patience, right? The ability to press the line of scrimmage, setting up blocks, explosiveness. Knowing that this offensive play calling style that Brian Grubb displayed last year, more closer to 67, 68% pass, 32% run ratio, right? Closer to that. If we see more so what we saw at Washington, it gets back closer to that 62, 38, 60, 40-ish type play calling aspect when you get the explosive runs. And you got to have, like we talked about in the live the other day, you got to have backs that know how to put their foot in the ground, make their one cut, and get upfield. Guys that have that vision. And I think we have a stable of backs that provide that. Daniel Hill, A.K. Deere, probably going to be your first two out. Right behind them, Kevin Riley. You're going to see the transfer running back, Khalifa Keith. I think you're going to hear about him getting some opportunities today, with Crowell probably going to be held very limited in today's practice with. Honestly, I truly believe today is going to be an intentionalist on the. Now you're going to hear about the pass game. We'll talk about the quarterbacks and wide receivers here in a minute. But I truly believe we're going to get a more so a feel of what the run game is going to be. Because last year we didn't. We saw the running backs get explosive in the pass game. Last year's scrimmage, I remember it particularly, a lot of the hype around the cornerback rotation was because of the plays they were making on a lot of the swing passes being made out of the backfield or checkdowns being made to the running backs. And the running backs have already, I think Kevin Riley, Daniel Hill both have displayed in previous opportunities last season that they can catch the ball very well out the backfield. E.J. Crowell, even Trayshawn Brown, you're going to hear about him with Crowell being down, Brown 17. He reminds me a lot of Kenyon Drake, T.J. Yeldon-ish with his frame. You know, he's not tall, 6'2", 6'1", but he has long limbs. He has long arms. And then he's stout, but his running style, long strides, covers a lot of ground, can change directions quickly, and this can give you like Josh Jacobs type energy. He'll change it up on you and drop his pad level, and knows how to use that momentum. So great change of speed back with a little bit more size than what you get with Kevin Riley, right? And so going to see all of these guys in the rotation today. If I had it my way and to go off of what we didn't get last year from the board and this staff in the second scrimmage, and what we know we need to work on with all the offensive linemen there, right? I think the passing game will continue to grow throughout the rest of the spring and into the fall, but the run game has to have a starting point, being the lack that it had last season. Want to get to hear about these running backs and going to be excited to hear and see what they do today. Let's go back to the other side with the running backs. Talk about linebackers. Let's talk about the box. Let's talk about the box on the defensive side. We kind of talked about the defensive line with the outside linebacker, Wolf Room, Yanzi, Justin Hill, Caleb Smith, all those guys in that room, in that rotation. To go to the second level, when we talk about the box in this scheme, we see a lot of that Husky position be asked to go or into the box. A lot of times the nickel corner or the rover, same thing, be put in the box. So when we talk about the box, and I say second level, I like to kind of bring the strong safeties and those nickel corners into that conversation, because that's what you're going to see. The personnel may not necessarily be a DB for 12 personnel offensive set, right? If we get 12 personnel on offense, we might not want the 5 DBs. We might bring the hybrid linebacker, or we might bring the extra strong safety in that we feel like gives us the linebacker feel. We might bring Hubbard from over top and bring him in the box, right? And put one of the young safeties over the top, or one of our other cover safeties, one high safety specialist, right? That's the type of versatility you get when you talk about the box and the 4-2-5 scheme, and the way that Kane One likes to incorporate those levels. How these guys are taught to key off of those reads. So I look at it and I talk about the box inside linebacker room. A lot of hype around Caleb Woodson, right, coming in from Virginia Tech. Now my thing with him is, do I think he's a every down backer? I can't say it based off the film for what this defense needs. The feel that we got from Jefferson and Lawson, can he bring that? I think there's we can start to see today. We can start to see today. Who I am sure can bring that is, one, Abdullah Sanders Jr. He's been ready since stepping on campus. The injury last year kind of pushed him back a little bit. No rush to get him back last year. You had that amount of experience you had in there. You had guys developing, QB Reese, Caden Jones in that room also, another mainstay, hard worker in that room. Still kind of under the radar for what reason, I don't know. Maybe we are there to get a good look. Hasn't had an opportunity against ones a lot, I don't believe. So haven't seen him pop off the screen or even hear a lot about some of his performance from practice. But QB Reese, Abdullah Sanders Jr., ready to see that tandem kind of take the helm in this linebacker room. And they give you that traditional linebacker look. Even their number selection, 35 and 36, you can't tell me that wasn't strategic. You can't tell me that wasn't strategic. But behind those guys, do not be surprised if some of our favorites, and I'm excited to see Luke Bex continue to develop, and Duke Johnson, I'm excited, and Caden Jones, I'm excited to see them two guys, that group of guys develop, right? I think they're mainstays in the room because I think they're going to be some of the leaders in your special teams production. We're going to talk special teams before we get into the phone lines. And shout out to everybody here. I know we've been dragging along. I know, but we got a lot to talk about today. And this is what y'all asked for, so I'm giving it to y'all today. So, Zay Hall, Zay Griffin. I'm telling you right now, and my sister, she watches the show, so she know I'm not doing this for clout. But you can talk about size and developing your body and all this stuff all you want, right? But sometimes when you got it, you just got it. Devontae Smith just had it, right? Bryce Young just had it, right? Shoot, Dijon Lee just had it. Julio Jones, I mean, he had the frame and size. But he had the gift too. Like some of these guys just had. Quentin Williams as a freshman just had it. We saw it. He was just so many ahead of him, but he had it. Come on, y'all. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Will Sanders, come on, just had it. Just had it. So Alabama, Caleb Downs just had it. When I talk about some guys that just have it, Zay Griffin, he just got it, y'all. He just got it. And you can tell the way the staff is trying not to let him go. The way they just trying not to let him go. Will Anderson, yeah. Ken, you know who I'm talking about. Because you got some guys in front of them that they doing what they got to do. They doing it. They doing it. That inside linebacker room is a lot to be found out. And it's going to be basically, I truly believe it's going to be like command of the defense, being able to be the coach on the field. I think this year, Kane Womack is going to put the pressure on that inside linebacker room to find out who's going to be an extension of him. Understand what we're looking for, regardless of what the play call is, right? All right, he put us in this for this. But Zay Griffin, he's got it. And I saw somebody in the comments say, Jairo Edwards, when we talk about the box, you kind of jumping ahead of me, but I'm going to go ahead and jump to it. Jairo Edwards, I guarantee you, there will be formations where we will see Bray Hubbard, Keon Sabb over top, Gyro Edwards at the nickel corner spot. Or I even believe this because of how crazy athletic the defensive line is. I think this year, as much as you Bama fans hate it, right? We will see what my brother Shep was asking us to go back to, which is that 3-4 nickel, a true 3-4 nickel type of pre-snap alignment, where you have your 3 true defensive linemen that just demand. You gotta have three defensive linemen that demand 2 double teams, right? They demand at least 4 blocking assets. That's why Saban's defensive fronts had so much success. The linebackers had so much success. Every defensive line group, 2 out of the 3 that he would put in the front, or when he put 4, they demanded at least 1 or 2 double teams. You had to, commit extra protection. So now the assets that you can commit to pass rush, assets you can throw back in coverage, you have the numbers advantage just based off of personnel and pre-snap alignment, right? So I think this year you might get to see that. Just imagine this. Go with me on a trip real quick. We're going that way. All right? Go with me on this trip. Let's go with a 3-man front. Let's say at the defensive end, the bandit position, you got Devin Tompkins. At the nose tackle position, let's throw Terrence Green in there, right? And then on the other side, let's put Jesus. I don't want to hurt no feelings. First name. Desmond Z. It's a lot of them. That's how it is. I couldn't be Freddie Roach this year. I could not be Freddie Roach this year. Jordan, don't laugh at me. I know you laughing. I could not be Freddie Roach this year. Because at the same time, I feel like I can go shoot on the edge out there. I can go Fatua Henry, right, at bandit. Or I could go Yanzi Pierre. I could go London Simmons at the nose, or Asaya Faga, or I mean, come on, give me my list. I got so many. Terrence Green can go there. Terrence Green can play some DN for us too. You want to stay big and have a 3-man front, still get a push. Edric Hill, Bandit, Jeremiah Beeman. You can go Beeman, Green, and Simmons up front and still get a crazy good pass rush, and have a pass rushing asset like Yanzi Pia, Justin Hill, coming from the second level. A tackle got to be able to decipher if he's coming off the edge or if he's looping. And Stunt City, Kane Womack, you better go crazy this year. With all this talent, oh my God, we got to get aggressive up front. And the 4-man pressures have to be the thing that deliver. But we went there. Let's come back. Imagine that. Let's talk about what happens in the box when you're able to have a 3-man front and that type of depth of rotation. And it was a couple of names I didn't say. Caleb Smith, I think, could get right there at the Wolf position at the second level and be one of those standing guys that float across the line before pre-snapping, confuse the offensive line. So just too much talent there. So I look at it and I say this. Second level, you get to bring in, depending on personnel, let's say we see a lot of 11 personnel in college football, right? 1 back, 1 tight end, 3 wide receivers. You see a lot of 11 personnel. So you tend to not want to put an extra linebacker on the field. But you want to have assets in the secondary that can play close to the box and have the frame and have the skill set to be run fit assets. So when you have guys like Bray Hubbard, who's at the 3rd level of your defense, pre-snap alignment, that's going to play strong into the box. He's your strong safety. He's going to be his primary lane of support, is strong side help for run gap containment. Okay, that's what he's going. That's his primary assignment, right? But then when you're able to when you're going against teams that like to run out of 11 personnel, they like to spread you out and run out of it. You can bring guys like Dre Kirkpatrick in and put him at the Husky, or now what my guy Clint Lamb was talking about, dime linebacker. You could bring Hubbard down and you put a guy like Dre Kirkpatrick over top to start, be that strong safety. And now you bring Hubbard in, and he's basically like a weak side linebacker or a strong side weak side linebacker. You get him, you got your coverage asset, you got your run support, you got your intensity up front, you got the same type of IQ that you want in the middle of your defense. You got two of those assets at that level, right? You break those, and now you got that extent because you have guys like Drake Kirkpatrick in the defensive back room that's going to help you in the box. You got the young freshman, Jaira Edwards, who's showing that nickel corner feel. And then he has linebacker frame, but DB assets. So, and I truly believe he's only 6'2" right now. I think he could still grow another inch or two at this age, right? 18, about to be 19. It's not crazy to see him be 6'4" and still be a safety. We've seen it. Is it Derwin James? Big safety in the league right now. Miami had a guy a few years ago that Alabama was targeting. So Jaira Edwards is going to be a mainstay. Ivan Taylor, what he does from the strong safety position, from that husky spot, right? The free safety room, I think the range is there. Gotta be excited about what you're getting from Rael Kelly. He's starting to make a surge in that room. Right? Make a name for himself. He has the speed, a track guy. You know, you got Sab there. Trying to make sure I'm not missing no name. We talked about Mincy. Got to see Mincy truly develop this year. I want to see him grow. He struggled in a lot of situations last year, just didn't look comfortable. I want to see him truly get comfortable because that safety room can get sticky. That safety room can get sticky. And I think Taylor possesses both that strong safety skill set and also that free safety, that range safety that you want over top in one high looks. And then you also got guys like Carmelo O'Neal with his height and the amount of talent in the defensive back room. It wouldn't be crazy to see him rotate to play a one high look. With his corner ability, his experience, he could transition to safety and be 6'4" with a 6'6" wingspan. You probably would have been told to play safety if your hips weren't as fluid as they was. Speaking of the cornerback room, Dijon Lee, Xavier Brown, Carmelo O'Neal. I think O'Neal may not be the starter, but he's going to be like the Terrion Arnold of that defensive back group with Kool-Aid, Terrion. Who's the other DB in that group that kept Terrion off the field for the most part of his sophomore year that was? I remember Terrion got thrown in the rotation. I forget who the corner was out there. I'm drawing a blank, but he's going to be the Terrion Arnold of this group. And then right behind him, I think right there, when you get into a lot of your dime looks, heavy pass sets, tendencies of the schedule, right? You're going to see a lot of Chuck McDonald. Chuck McDonald on the boundary, Dijon and Carmelo in the slot. Because now you're putting those big bodies, big frames in zone type concepts. I know people say don't put the big bodies on the small shifty guys in the slot. Well, the way this vision reaction coverage works, man, you want those guys to kind of what we call is shadow. We call it match type coverage, right? And we have fluid big guys at the corner position that can get shifty with some of your smaller assets in the slot game. Well, what they provide is the range and coverage to make those assignments a lot harder. You can press up in those situations and get hands on those guys. And then with the zone concepts that you run, the cover three concepts and how you do some match coverage and mixed coverage on the back end, you can put those cover guys that play the ball well, like McDonald, like Xavier Brown, like the young Jordan Edmonds, like Red Morgan. You could put those guys in those drop situations where they're able to watch the quarterback's eyes, have a feel on route concepts and what's developing in front of them, and also things coming to them from, like flood concept, cross concepts, all of those things. So I think we'll see a lot of that more so develop in season, but for the scrimmage, just the athleticism will be on display with this secondary because they're going to contest every ball. They're going to contest every ball. That's one thing about this group. When I was at the practice the other day, they contest every pass. Every pass is contested. And speaking of contested passes, let's talk about the receivers and the tight ends, man. The wide receiver tight end room, once this old line gets squared away, these guys are going to make it harder for the quarterback decision because they compete. They compete. Derek Meadows competes. I mean, every pass. Noah Rogers, I think God for Jeremy Bernard kind of creating that new vibe around the number 5 because I think Noah Rogers has embodied that same responsibility in this wide receiver room, not necessarily as a vocal leader, but just a guy that does it right, and he's picking it up so fast that you see him as a mainstay in the rotation early. I think he ends up being the most targeted receiver, kind of like Jeremy Bernard was. Maybe not stat production wise, maybe not have the highest numbers, but I think he will be a primary target. And as far as how can we create matchups for him to establish the momentum of the passing game? Ryan Williams, a lot of people are talking about his resurgence. I don't think this is much so a resurgence for Ryan. I think this is an answering of the call. Finally, he's at a stage now where he's developed, his body has truly developed. I look at Ryan and I say the 185, at 185, 190, it looks good on him. It looks good on the young man. He looks more like a collegiate receiver ready to compete from a physical standpoint. And we saw a lot of the clips from that team's period, from that first scrimmage last week. We saw the clips doing his thing. Looks like he's becoming a lot more aggressive, and the intensity is there. And I think this is his time. Was it Pat Surtain that kept him off the field? Pat was still there when Terrion was there? Terrion and Kool-Aid? Pat was still there? I don't know. We're going to have to, Zach, we need Zach on the line. We'll get Zach on the line when we open the phone lines here in about 3 minutes, y'all. But that's a lot of things we got to look forward to going into today's scrimmage. The wide receiver room, of course, everybody's hyped about Sadarius Morgan, the freshman. But Mathis, we did confirm that Mathis is there, 21. And I want to see if he gets the opportunities. I know he'll probably be against walk-ons and threes. I want to see what he looks like with some of the freshmen. If we're able to see Tamala and Kawhi today, because like I said, we'll be leaving 3:30ish, 3:45, trying to make sure we get back. We like to do our post-practice report from the studio for the scrimmage because and today I'm blessed enough to be able to not have to drive, so I can go through my notes, mental notes, and kind of jot things down from memory. And then of course, y'all know my phone will be blowing up by 4:15, 4:30. It'll be blowing up, and we'll be talking about everything that we're getting. Because everybody's cousins and everybody's moms and dads and cousins and brothers and aunties and uncles is going to be talking about what they got to see at today's private scrimmage. And that's why I love this industry. I love Alabama football, because just like they talk about what they saw, we're going to talk about what we got to see. All right. So y'all sit back. Wake up. Don't sit back. Wake up. Wake up right now. Give them. Wake up. All right, now we about to get into the phone lines. Topic of conversation for the phone line today, y'all. I want to ask y'all a quick question. And what is the most important thing you need to hear today from today's scrimmage? If you, as a fan, you ain't too much worried about all the hype with the quarterback battle and all the mainstream media push with that, you more so want to hear some real life improvements of what is happening with this team, with the Alabama football team. So the call-in topic, what's the most important improvement Alabama needs from last season? All right, what's the most important improvement they need from last season, and what are you expecting to hear from it today, from today's scrimmage? All right, the scrimmage is this afternoon, so you got time to get your comments in. If you're watching Post Live, you got your time to get comments in, and we'll try to get those insights for you too. But if you're live here now, phone line, get on the phone line, talk to me, let me know on the phone line. We need to find out who that defensive back group was, the Kool-Aid and Terrion. That year, Terrion was basically CB number 3, and I think it was the year he got torched in the Texas game. I think it was that year. So, yeah, when we get back from the infomercial break, we'll jump into the call-in segment. The phone line will be open, and we'll start taking your calls here on the Coach Smook Network. Now, if you have not yet, please take an opportunity and join the AAA family, and you will get to see some insider access that we have been provided in our coverage of not just Alabama football, but some of our high school programs, other universities and programs that we are extending our coverage to this upcoming season. You will get to see the behind the scenes access. And no, it ain't no doggone clips of me on the sidelines at practice. Don't be going out there lying. You sitting there paying, how much is it for the membership? $2.99, $2.99, whatever it is. You paying that much to go out here and lie, trying to stir up trouble. We ain't with that, y'all. Join the AAA family so you can find out for yourself what's going on. Jordan, take us out. Glad you chose to stop by the channel today. Just wanted to give you an opportunity to really become a part of this community here at the Coach Smook Network. We like to call ourselves the AAA family. The AAA stands for authenticity above all. We just want to give you an opportunity to become a part of this community because we're growing and we're doing something special here as a fan base, not just for Alabama, but the fan community as a whole. We're creating an environment where it's safe to be yourself, be authentic, and meet people who share the same passion you share, whether it's for the same team or not. You can do this by becoming a member of the AAA family. You simply start by just clicking the link provided to you by one of the moderators in the chat, or it'll be pinned to the top of the chat. Click that link. It'll bring you to my homepage. When you get to my homepage, make sure you hit the notification button and turn on all notifications. Understand that there are multiple ways to support the channel, and each level has its perks. You can go through and read each perk. As we continue to grow, new perks will be added to each level. One thing we would like to highlight that all AAA members are greatly appreciated. It does not go unnoticed that you have taken time and hard-earned money to support this channel. Once you join, YouTube is going to ask for some payment information, and make sure you monitor your subscription dates. Also, if you really want to get interactive with the community and find out what's going on, think about joining our Discord family. This is where you can get into all the fan talk of the community, and also there are networking opportunities. Please be mindful that there are rules and that we expect everyone to treat everyone with respect. Also, if you're looking to partner with Coach Smook Network or sponsor, please hit us up at coachsmooknetwork@gmail.com, and our staff will get back to you in a timely manner. I'm your boy, Coach Smook of the Coach Smook Network, and I thank you for supporting this channel. Hold on one second. If you're serious about sports, you need more than just box scores. You need real insight. That's why Sports Info Solutions is the official partner of the Coach Smook Network. Sports Info Solutions is my go-to source for in-depth stat analysis, giving you the tools to truly understand player production, tendencies, and performance on a whole new level. From NFL, MLB to NBA, Sports Info Solutions delivers advanced data that helps fans, coaches, and analysts see the game behind the game. This isn't just stats, it's context. Looking ahead to the next generation of stars? Check out nfldraft.sportsinfosolutions.com for elite draft analysis and detailed prospect breakdown. Make it your new go-to stat tracker. Visit sportsinfosolutions.com today. Now let's get back in the game.
Better go subscribe. You do roll with the tide. I'm down in the gun with Coach Smook. Through the game, roll tide, roll tide. Better go subscribe. TikTok.
Yes, sir. Let me get back full screen. I don't know why that's still up. But y'all, appreciate y'all for tapping in. Before we get into the phone lines, man, I want to do a segment real quick, which is sponsored by one of our new sponsors, man. We want to acknowledge our community, our people. And we want to give a big shout out to our new proud sponsor, Farmers Insurance of Hoover, Alabama, Frederick Harris and Farmers Insurance of Hoover, Alabama. We appreciate you all for sponsoring this comment segment here on the Coach Smook Network. And I'm gonna go into the comments. We're gonna take about 3 to 5 minutes to acknowledge some comments, get y'all thoughts here on the channel. Get your thoughts here live and see what you all got to say here on the Coach Smook Network. All right, what are you at? Shout out again, Farmers Insurance, Frederick Harris, and Farmers Insurance of Hoover, Alabama. We appreciate you. Let's get some comments on the screen, Mary J. Let's see what we got. See what y'all had to say. We had a lot to talk about it, and I'm gonna take a little breath. I'm gonna take a little deep breath real quick. Take a quick breath, right, and then a little sip, and then we're gonna get y'all comments. My guy K Young says, you can see Ryan has grown physically since his freshman year. He's looking more like a man than a boy. 100%. And we said that. I told you all that. And I kept that as a mainstay in my debate of what to expect from him. The young man was being thrown into a game of football. This is not our college football from 2001 anymore. This isn't college football of the past. This college football game, our young men, our 17 and 18-year-old young men are being forced to play against 24, 25, 26, 27-year-old grown men with mortgages and children and hip flexor tightness and things, and they take daily vitamins and all of this stuff. Like, they're playing against basically professionals, right? I'm for real. Am I not lying? Indiana, the average age of the player on Indiana was 24. So yeah, you gotta allow these guys to develop. Got to see O-line run blocking improve. Facts, 100%. I put a poll in the chat over here on the YouTube side. If you're watching on other platforms, would love for you to come through and interact on the YouTube side and let me know your thoughts on that. If you're on Facebook commenting, please come to the YouTube side. I don't know what's going on with Facebook comments, but yeah, it's definitely one of those things, man. I hopefully get fixed. Baseball got a great win last night, and our softball team needs to bounce back today. Listen, man, you know I'm not a baseball geek or anything like that. I understand the game, but I support our Crimson Tide, and the squad has been going crazy. The baseball team, not men's baseball, it's only baseball. It's men's softball is for women, right? So men's the baseball team, they've been doing their thing. They've been doing their number once again, like my boy said. Got a win last night. Softball team got to bounce back. They got a series starting tonight, don't it? They usually have a home series set up for A-Day weekend, and then A-Day that's not tonight, that's next week. A-Day weekend is usually parents weekend, so gonna be crazy good crowd out there. Any more comments in the chat that we need to acknowledge? Appreciate y'all for tapping in. Shout out to my TikTok side for tapping that screen. My sister Classy, I see you tapping that screen for me. Appreciate y'all for tapping the screen. Make sure y'all following on TikTok also, but come subscribe to the YouTube channel at Coach Smook. And then we also got our content back rolling on the Coach Smook Reacts channel. Going to be posting a lot of reactions, funny stuff, sports reactions, all that. Now, let's get into the phone lines, man. Let's get that phone line topic on the screen real quick one more time, Mary J, before we go into the phone line segment. And the topic of the day is, let me get the phone lines open before I even do that. You ain't about to have me on here looking like a soup sandwich. Oh, sir. Barbecue grilled. No shit, none of that. No soup sandwich over here. All right, now we got the phone line. So we didn't send out an automated message. We want to leave it open for, people who watching the show. If you want to call in naturally, right? You feel the unction to be heard today. Call in on the phone line. We got you opened up here in 2 minutes. What's the most important improvement Alabama needs from last season? And whose dog is this in my yard? Because boss don't play there. It's 2 dogs in my yard that look like sheep. All right, y'all. We're gonna go to infomercial break, y'all. And once we come back, we will open the phone lines. Phone line topic is, what's the most important improvement Alabama needs from last season? Also, what are you looking to hear from today's scrimmage? Let's get into it here on the Coach Smook Network. Somebody type it in the chat. Say, put me in the game, Coach Smook Jordan. Let's get to it.
Remember, when you see me in the streets, holler at me. Say, put me in the game, Coach Smook.
At Walk-On's Sports Bistro, the games are on, the food's delicious, and here you are always part of the team. Welcome to Walk-On's Sports Bistro, where every day is game day. Whether it's a post-win celebration, drinks after work, or taking the fam for some made-from-scratch favorites, Walk-On's is your go-to for good times, craft beer and cocktails, and bold flavors for fans of all ages. From melty mozzarella logs to Hall of Fame level burgers. Stop by today or order online or in the app. Walk-On's Sports Bistro. Game on.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Like, share, subscribe. You know we keep it live.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. 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 Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Like, share, subscribe. You know we keep it live.
All right, y'all. Phone lines are open. 334-625-1121. 334-625-1121. Call in, say your name, and put me in the game. Coach Smook will get your thoughts on the line. What's the biggest improvement we need to see coming into this season? Got our first call on the line. Y'all know who it is. Let's call. Let's get it on the line. Let's get it.
Call from Zach Willie. To accept, press 1.
Yo, Zach. What's up, man? You in the game with Coach Smook? Talk to me, man.
What's good, Coach Smook and my AAA family? How are y'all doing this morning? And happy Good Friday to all of y'all.
Man, look, we're doing good, man. Same to you. Same to you. Happy Good Friday. Talk to me today, Zach. What's the biggest improvement with this Alabama squad? First of all, man, what's your thoughts on a lot of things we talked about today in the show? You know, we got the scrimmage coming up today, second scrimmage. Mm-hmm. What are some things you're looking to hear? And then kind of talk about the biggest improvement you're expecting to see from this for this team coming up in this season.
Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank. Hold on.
You good, buddy? We started talking about just the depth of rotation and everything with the offensive line, trying to get those guys, see what the first group is there, D-line, how much talent and how they're going to help the O-line kind of develop everything, man. Just a lot of talent. Every day I look at this roster, Zach, I say this before we pass the mic back to you. Every day I look at this roster and I start to just kind of look at the assets available, and this roster just looks different. You look at the heights and weights of players from last year in some of these positions, especially on the offensive line. The offensive line looks a lot more lean, but this is an NFL size offensive line. The average weight of an NFL, so this is more so what you want to see, not that big old offensive line we had to kind of pull back from the past two seasons. This is the type of offensive line. So I'm excited about all of the competition that has to play out in today's scrimmage. So go ahead, Zach. What you expecting today?
What am I expecting today is just to continue to see quality competition, intensity and physicality in the trenches on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. And kind of going back to what I was saying about Freddie Roach yesterday, with the talent that we have this year, if Freddie Roach doesn't produce this year, then that's a problem, because I see a lot of talent in that defensive line room that you could utilize in this style of defense, and not too big, not too small, just the right size. You know, you got 285, 310, you know, 330, you know,
Right.
just the right size guys that just aren't gonna, they're not too big, so they wouldn't get bogged down
Mm-hmm.
and can just be free and play football, you know. And then, like you said, on the offensive side of the ball, we have the right size offensive line. Yes, slim, but an NFL size offensive line to be able to create good pass blocking, good run blocking, just overall quality, intensity, and physicality that we haven't had at Alabama for a while now. And another thing I want to see Ryan continue to take steps to being the best wide receiver he can be. You know, and that's not saying he has to go out and have a 1,000-yard season. I don't think he ever will, but just limit the drops, utilize your hands, and and playing more physical, like we seen him make that play in the Indiana game. That was the most physical play we had seen from Ryan Williams in his career when he broke up the possible interception. And I just want to see him continue to take steps.
Yeah.
And
I want to say this about Ryan Williams, chat. Listening, and Zach, as always, he said something that kind of sparked it. A lot of people have this idea that Ryan Williams has been kind of like not living up to the hype. And to me, that's only for the fans. If you were on the other side of this, like myself, who saw a young man with some very high upside, right? Some gifts that not every athlete his age they had. Ryan Williams is probably one of the faster receivers in the room, you know, and that's with Latsier Brooks in there. Rico Scott got some top end speed on him. The transfer, Tyler, is it Tyler Henderson? He has some speed on him. Noah Rogers is a vertical stretch guy. I mean, and then you talk about the defensive back room. They're fast. Chuck McDonald, we keep talking about him. He's one of your bigger frame guys. You talk about the skills positions. He's fast too. But Ryan, he knows how to create separation. He has the after the catch excitement, all of that. But the small things that matter, that as far as developing into a complete receiver, we saw this. The evaluators, the scouts, the recruiters, they saw this. And you can't put a cap on what he does as explosive playmaker, right? Especially looking at the assets that was available with his first year as a freshman. You know, there was a need for his playmaking ability that first year. And then year two, when it was time to be able to do some of the mechanical and technical things, see coverages, make the right reads, make the right, stem the route at the right level, he struggled with that. And that's what you expect from an 18-year-old, 19-year-old kid. But people would not listen to me. And so they kept throwing these crazy expectations. Oh, Ryan's going to be wide receiver 1. He's going to have 1,000 yards, 15 touchdowns, all this crazy stuff. And I'm like, y'all, he ain't even built like that. He did it in high school his senior year because he was probably the only piece on that side of the ball that had that type of skill set that year. Now, they had some studs at Saraland that senior year Ryan was there. They had both sides of the ball full of studs, but he is a different type of talent. At the high school level, he was separating himself. So when it comes to Ryan, the unrealistic expectations, they're realistic because of it being his junior year. We've seen his body develop. He's had the experience at the collegiate level. You're talking about a young man that has 30 collegiate football games on his belt already in 2 years. And he just turned 20.
Right. And I agree with what you're saying. He reminds me of Smitty from frame perspective. You know, a smaller receiver, but talented and explosive. You know, and I just want to see him continue to improve and flourish in college. You know,
Facts.
I want him. I want him to be successful. You know, so that's all I got to say about Ryan. But yes, I just and from what I need to see this year to call this season a success, or what I need to see us work on more is play calling, in my opinion, and not necessarily the play calling in itself, but play calling to get us in rhythm. The no more miscommunication from the sideline to the players, which also ties in to play calling, you know. And so I think a lot of our issues last year was the fact that the language we was using wasn't getting communicated properly from the sideline to the players, so that it messed up the rhythm, you know, so in a lot of games. And so I think with more smooth communication, we'll be able to build that rhythm from a play calling standpoint, which will also make our offensive line more successful, our run game more successful, you know, our offense as a whole more successful, you know.
100%, Zach. Well, final thoughts, man. We got 30 seconds. We're going to open this phone line up. Chat, make sure y'all get ready to call in. 334-625-1121. Call in with your thoughts. We got good conversation going into today's Alabama spring practice number 2. Spring practice number 2 is what we're prepping for today. And we're expecting a lot of insights and expecting a lot of information to be passed off through today, to develop from today's scrimmage. So tap in, get on the phone lines. Zach, final thoughts, brother.
My final thought is this, Coach. To answer or to back off what Ken, the Bama fan, was saying about Pat Surtain. Pat Surtain wasn't here when Terrion Arnold was here. He left with Smitty and Mac Jones and Waddle and them guys from the last national championship team at Bama.
Okay. So, Zach, we know you know who was on the roster, who was on the 23 roster with Kool-Aid McKinstry, Terrion Arnold. I can't remember who the other defensive back was. It was something that somebody that we were so confident in, because it was Caleb's freshman year.
Yeah.
Trey Amos didn't get to play at Bama.
He played spot reps. He did get to come in the SEC championship game when Kool-Aid went out with some kind of injury. I can't remember exactly what it was, and he did get to come in for like the last 6 minutes of the game, to kind of finish off the game, but it was out of hand then,
Yeah, I done pulled the roster up, man. I gotta think back, because even as I'm scrolling, I'm trying to think who started opposite of Kool-Aid. So it had to be 2022 then. It wasn't 2023. It was 2022.
No, and that was Eli Ricks was 2022. That was they was swapping them two out, but neither one of them really performed at a high level that year. There was a lot of not getting the play call that year and not getting lined up
There you
properly
go.
that
See,
year,
see,
and a lot of
I knew we would work our way back to
coverages.
it. I knew, because that spring, that 2022 spring going into that year was Kendrick Law and all those guys freshman year. Earl Little was making a lot of noise in spring camp. We was hearing about and you got to remember that was also Brian Branch's last year. So you had a lot of those veteran guys. DeMarco Hellams was in that secondary. Jordan Battle was still there. So that the top part of the defense, it was the boundary that was struggling. And that sophomore year was Kool-Aid's sophomore year when he got the opportunity. Terrion was a redshirt freshman, right? He was a freshman that year, but he was playing like that rotational number 3 corner spot after being switched from safety, after being recruited as a safety and switching the corner. So yeah, that's what it was. It wasn't Kyrie Jackson, big homie. It was Terrion Arnold, Eli Ricks. Cause y'all remember Ricks, we went out and got him from the portal, from LSU. And we moved Devontae Smith from corner to safety room. And we just knew that Ricks was gonna come in and start, and Saban was not playing that. I think even that year we even saw it was one of the freshmen. Antonio Kite even got thrown into the fire at one point during the season. Was that might have been his sophomore year too, but those 2 years are always like a blur to me. 22 and 23. Oh my God, they always like a blur for me. So, but yeah, Zach, we appreciate you for helping us out, man, and getting us back on the right track with our Bama history, man.
Yes, sir.
Roll Tide, my brother. Good to have you on the line, man.
Roll Tide.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Y'all give it up for Zach in the chat, y'all. Y'all give it up for Zach in the chat. Appreciate you, Zach, for doing what you do, man. All right, y'all. So phone line is open, 334-625-1121. We went a little bit over our time on that one, but that's because y'all wasn't blowing the phone lines up. And I know it's Friday, it's Good Friday. Y'all probably sitting at the barbershop watching the show, trying to get fresh for Sunday. I got to see if I'm going to be able to get in. I forgot that it was Easter Sunday, y'all. I'm not big on the holidays and stuff no more, just me. So, but I do like to look good on that Easter Sunday. I'll never forgive B.O.B. or Pete for failing to get us some national championships. Man, the amount of talent those guys had at their disposal, and we didn't come away with one. But how can you blame them? You got to blame Saban, right? Ain't it Kalen DeBoer fault that we didn't get to the Natty this year? Huh? Ultimate. Shout out to the 63 in the chat, man. We appreciate everybody in the chat. And then YouTube, appreciate y'all for the 27 likes on stream. Y'all have been doing a great job. And today's calling segment is sponsored by First Place Barbering in Montgomery, Alabama. We appreciate those guys, Kelsey Shepard. I thought we'll be able to get him on the line this morning, but it looks like I said, it's Friday before Easter Sunday, and we got the bar. But I'm pretty sure tonight that calling line is going to be hot after we get all of our reports from the scrimmage today. We got another call on the line, y'all. Appreciate our sponsoring today.
Call from.
Put me in the game, Coach Smoke.
To accept, press 1.
Yo, you're in the game with Coach Smook. Talk to me. What's your name, man? Where you calling from?
Smoke is Jimmy from Ohio, man.
What's up, Jimmy? Good to hear your voice, man. Y'all give it up for Jimmy in the chat, man. Jimmy.
Yes, sir. Yes,
How you been, brother? How you been, man?
Chilling, man. Blessed. Ready for this 26th season, man. Ready to pop it off.
Facts. Well, you're calling in on a good day because the topic of conversation is where should Alabama, that's the wrong one. What's the biggest improvement you need to see going into this 2026 season as far as improvements? I put in the tweet that I put out, is it the quarterback play? Is it offensive line play? Is it defensive consistency? Is it the play calling, offensive play calling? What is your number one priority for improvement going into the 26th season? And then we rounded that conversation out with what are you expecting to hear from today's scrimmage? What are some things you need to hear from today's scrimmage to have that type of confidence going into this 2026 season?
Well, to be honest with you, Smoke, I think I need to see improvement from Ryan Grubb. The reason I say that is because going back to last year, we don't even have to go back. We can just go to the Indiana game. And this is one of those situations where I kind of blame on Kalen DeBoer, like why didn't you stop it? But the fourth down play, when you go for it on your own side of the field, you don't get it. I think that was a huge momentum swing, huge, because I feel like if you punt that ball, I think our defense is playing good enough to get Indiana off the field. But you chose to go for it. And that's just the microscopic play of many plays that was kind of, because there was like a 4 or 5 game stretch where Ryan Grubb was in his bag, right? But I do think there was a lot of times where he got too pretty when we didn't need to. The trick plays, the unnecessary plays when all we had to do was get 2 or 3 yards. We didn't need to make these 15, 20 yard. I think that's what Ryan Grubb's problem. He wants to go for the home runs instead of just dinking and dodging. And that's what I'm saying. For the 4 or 5 games, we were doing that.
Right.
Like against Georgia, we was dinking it. We was just stacking plays, like Kalen DeBoer likes to say.
Playing to the strengths of your quarterback too. I don't think Ty Simpson has a weak arm by any means, but I do think his strength is giving him those concepts that cause him to get the ball out quickly. His feet say, I want to get rid of this ball, right? And every drop back, I don't care what play, whether it's a good play or not, his feet look like, I want to get this ball out of here quickly.
Yeah.
But there's nothing wrong with that.
No, not at all, Smoke. And I think Ryan Grubb, okay, the offensive line is one of our biggest liabilities.
Right.
Why are you having these long drawn plays where you're putting your linemen in a position where they have to block longer than they need to, which puts more pressure on Todd Simpson because he's like, man, okay, I got to wait for this play to develop, but I got to stay in the pocket, and I know I can't stay in the pocket because somebody's going to be coming, because I know one of these guys, i.e. Wilkin Formby, is just going to stand there and let somebody come straight at me and have a cheap shot,
To the offensive line defense, though, and to Ryan Grubb defense, it was very few situations where Ty Simpson didn't have more than 3 seconds to make decisions in this season.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was very few, and when they did show up, it was because of the missed opportunities when he did have time. By the time you finally have to let it develop, Wilkins Formby's that held up 2 out of the last 4 reps. That 5th rep, he finally got beat. And now it looks extra bad. Oh, Wilkins is. No, Ty missed the first 2. Now that defense has got a little bit more confidence. They pushing off a little bit more. They seeing things a little bit quicker. Is developing a lot faster for them the 5th time you run it in front of them. And that's another thing, but can go towards Ryan Grubb too in the same breath. Like, stop. If you see something opening up, create different looks around it so that when you run back to it, it's not so easily keyed upon it. The predictability. Right. I watched the Oklahoma game, the playoff game. And it was very predictable for the first 3 quarters. It was very predictable as far as now we still made some positive plays offensively, but predictability was definitely there with Ryan Grubb last year in this offense.
Yeah. The reason why I say Wilkin Formby is because if you go back to what was it Saban's last year or DeBoer's first year where Wilkin Formby was getting I forgot which it was the year we had I think Elijah Pritchard was our tackle.
Yeah.
And he got switched with Wilkin Formby. And I forget, was it South Florida? Maybe
South
Florida. It was one of those.
Yes, sir.
It was one of those games he was getting beat.
Yes, sir. Bad. He had a Caden Proctor, South Carolina experience.
Yeah.
Or was it Arkansas? Caden Proctor had Arkansas too. Landon Jackson from Arkansas. became started getting first round draft stock off of Caden Proctor.
Yeah. And you know, I'm going to be honest with you, Smook. I don't know what it is with our right tackles. And it's not just the board. This has been under Saban, too, that that's been a point of, I don't want to say weakness, but that's been one of the weaker chains in the link is the right tackle. I don't know why.
Look at how the game is evolving, bro. It's a simple answer to me. Look at what's being thrown at them from that position now. It used to be right tackles had a lot of value because they could handle defensive ends, right? That's what was tackles ends, helping on double teams, getting out in space on your sweeps and your outside zone concepts. Like that was what they were asked to do, bro. Now you're getting basically tight ends and wide receivers, big wide receivers that can't catch. They're throwing them on the D-line, putting 30, 40 pounds on their frame. And with that speed, they're being asked to block those guys. Plus, the guy that's giving you that push that you were already having to deal with. And you got defensive ends now, bro. You got 6'5", 6'6" defensive ends, 285 pounds that move like 225-pound linebackers. So the tackle, that's why it's so much value there, though. That's why when you get a good one, you got to pay them. NFL and college. So that's where I think the struggle has been. And you haven't seen Caden Proctor this last year showed me what underdeveloping in system looks like with a talent, because the way he worked out at Pro Day, I have no question he's going to go to the NFL and be what they call it. You get what I'm saying? Like an all-pro tackle. I have no doubt about that.
And I want to say one last thing, man. I think, like, let's be honest, there's been a lot of scrutiny for Kalen DeBoer these last 2 years, which some is warranted, but a majority of it is not. Because I feel like when people say, you know, you went to Alabama, you got the keys to the Corvette. Brother, that doesn't all necessarily mean that you're going to be successful. That you got to have players that fit your scheme. If Saban couldn't even win with his own players between 20 and his last season, he couldn't even win with his own players. What makes you think the board can win with his players? That's why I don't understand the logic behind it, because it's like Saban's lineman is for that. He's not. Kalen DeBoer needs those linemen that's athletic, that can get to the next level, that's good for the zone schemes. Those type of linemen Saban didn't have. So you already come in a situation really where your hand is behind your back. Not to mention you had a quarterback like Milroe where you never had a quarterback like that.
Come on. And not just like that. And as athletic as Milroe was, he was limited in the vertical passing game.
Yep.
Because not every vertical pass is a fade. Not every vertical pass is a corner or a post. A lot of the crossers, they are considered part of the flood concepts, are the rollout concepts that where you're throwing your intermediates and your levels. Those are vertical passing concepts. They all fall under that tree of style of passing. And he did not have an extensive knowledge of that, nor did he possess the natural mechanics to operate the quick game at an effective rate. His throwing motion wasn't that of a natural quarterback, right? Didn't have the baseball experience that you would want from athletic guys like that you want to groom as quarterbacks, but he showcased the ability to improve. They weren't part of him though. He did enough training to get over the hump and say, I can do it, but he didn't do enough or hadn't been doing it long enough for it to be a part of him. Like Ty Simpson, you can tell that, like I said earlier, his footwork, when he drops back in the pocket, his feet say, I'm trying to get the ball out of here quick. I ain't trying to hold on to it.
Happy feet.
You get what I'm saying? Like, and a lot of people say happy feet and then go to a negative narrative. No, sometimes happy feet is good. I call them active.
It's not negative. It's not negative.
Active feet for me is good. You know, my thing is his feet aren't active to where I'm chopping to get plant and get up out of there if I have to. His feet are like, oh, it's happening. He's stuck in one spot. Let's get active with those feet. And he showcased that during his pro day workout too. I talked about that in my pro day reaction.
I'm impressed by Todd, man. I truly believe he's going to be top 10, top 15 pick. I truly believe
he has to be.
I truly believe that. I truly believe that.
Not only just his skill set, but he was smart enough to look at the draft class and looked at what his stock was up against and how limited he was in this 1 year as a starter. He has more upside, and he didn't make the mistake of coming back and trying to prove it and having to fight through all the extra storylines of fighting off this person or transferring. He did the smart thing. He said, I'm gonna bet on my upside, just like these DMs and these other organizations are doing. And I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna go. I did enough. I've proven that I can manage at a high level. He did it against the toughest stretch of schedule in Alabama football history under the new playoff format and ranking structure. So I give Ty his due. I give Ty his flowers.
And I'm gonna end with this. I don't want to take up too much of your time, Smook. I'm in with this. That stretch that DeBoer had, Saban never had that stretch.
Never.
He never had to deal with that. And we scrutinized DeBoer. And on top of that, you know, people get on Ty. The man was loyal to the University of Alabama. He didn't let money phase him or change who he stood next to. He stood next to the University of Alabama, and that alone, man, makes me like, you have to tip your hat off to Ty Simpson, man, because he could have easily Miami offered him $6 million. You know what I mean?
Crazy
more money
work
that you was gonna get in the NFL as a rookie. So, I think this year, this is Kalen DeBoer's team. And I think we seeing a huge improvement because we seen a huge improvement between year 1 and year 2. We went from not making the playoffs to making the SEC championship, winning a playoff game. Yes, we got our butts whooped by Indiana. I'll give you that, but they was whooping everybody.
Yeah.
So
and to add to that, Kalen DeBoer's losses, right? In these big matchups, right? They're against playoff contenders. They're not just. We're not talking. And you're talking about Brett Venables. He's got 2 losses to Brett Venables, right? During his time at Alabama. He's got 1 loss to Kirby Smart, Clark Lee at Vanderbilt, right? That in your first year post Saban, like you get some grace with that one, you know. Portal, all of that. Who else was a loss? He hasn't lost to Auburn. Come on, y'all.
Josh Heupel.
And Tennessee. Come on, Josh Heupel did it to Saban.
He made the playoffs that year.
Come on, like, and you get in the playoffs and you lose to the eventual national champion this is Kalen DeBoer's second playoff visit as a head coach at the D1 level for now going into his 6th or 7th year. This will be that was 2 visits as a head coach. His second visit, both visits, his losses came to the eventual national champion.
Michigan and Indiana.
I'm gonna make it look good for him every time, bro.
No, it's true.
But that's the facts.
And you know what, Smook? All these, and I'm sorry, man. I'm gonna get off after this.
You good, bro?
All these former players, all these former, I don't know, assistant coaches, whatever you want to call them, scrutinizing the board. Like, why? Why? Because guess what? Let's call it a buck, Smook. Saban didn't want to deal with this era.
He couldn't. He couldn't deal with it. His mind, he wasn't programmed to be on this. I ain't gonna say business because Saban is a great businessman, but when it comes to sports, there should be a fine line between those two, right? And college football has not grasped that yet. As much as I expect it to improve over the next 2 seasons, college football has yet to grasp that part of it, and we're seeing the effects of it. And I think the big money movers are seeing it too, and that's why they're trying to get a hold on it, get some boundaries placed on it now.
Yep, I think. I don't think this year. I don't think this is a championship team. This is a playoff team. I don't think it's a championship. 27. I think that's our year. I think that's our year. My prediction. But hey, Roll Tide, Smook. God bless y'all. Happy Easter to you and your family. You stay safe, brother.
For sure, man. Roll Tide to you. Give it up for Jimmy from Ohio. Pat, Jimmy from Ohio. With our last call of the segment. Appreciate you, Jimmy. Appreciate you for that good take. Hey, that was a hot take. That's why I had to give him a horn, y'all. My boy said he does not think that 2026 is the national championship season. Year 3 of Kalen DeBoer is not the national championship season. He thinks it comes in year 4 in 2027. That's a good calling topic that kind of highlight for tonight's calling segment. Thank y'all for tapping into the calling segment. We're going to get up out of here, y'all, to close out the show. We're going to give y'all the infomercial break. And then after that, we're going to make our final thoughts, an announcement. And then we're going to get out of here. And we'll be back with y'all later on today. We're going to try to be live around 4:30, 5 o'clock once we get back from Tuscaloosa. Give our quick breakdown, our inside members only, live at 4:35 p.m. where we'll talk about our insights and things that we're hearing from the scrimmage that we saw. And then also, we're going to make our announcement involving A-Day. Just continue to keep you all informed on where our setup will be and how we'll do things. So we appreciate y'all for tapping in today again with the support here on the Coach Smook Network. And once again, y'all, run up the like, share the content, let somebody know that you're tapped in, you're in the game with Coach Smook. Here you go, man. We appreciate y'all.
All right, family. That's going to do it for today's show here on the Coach Smook Network. Once again, I'm your host, Coach Smook, your favorite Alabama insider and sports media personality. And I truly appreciate every one of you for rocking with us today. Before you head out, make sure you like this video, share it with somebody who needs to be a part of this conversation. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel so you stay locked in with everything we've got coming your way. We're trying to reach some goals here. And if you believe in what we're building here, I encourage you to take that next step and become a member of the AAA family. Remember, our mantra is authenticity above all. This community is built on real conversations and real insight and real information surrounding sports entertainment. Your membership directly supports the growth of the Coach Smook Network, and every hard-earned dollar contributed is not only appreciated, it's paid for through our monthly contributions to community health and awareness organizations. So you're not just supporting a YouTube channel, you're supporting a cause. Also, don't forget to check out the Coach Smook merch. We've got hats, t-shirts, hoodies, and more. It's a great way to show love and support for the network and rep the brand wherever you go. You can find the merch link in our main YouTube page and in the description. Put me in the game, coach. And if you want to stay connected and get more involved with the community, be sure to join the Discord. Just type the command in the live chat or head over to our main YouTube page and click the Linktree link in the description. You can also stay connected with us directly for collaborations, appearances, community service opportunities, and business inquiries by emailing us at coachsmooknetwork@gmail.com. Our staff will respond in a timely manner. And for those who want to show additional love, you can always donate directly to the Coach Smook Network through Venmo, PayPal, or Cash App. Every bit of support helps us continue to grow and elevate this platform. We also want to send a huge thank you to our sponsors and partners: Walk On Sports Bistro, Sports Info Solutions, Helping Hands LLC, Men of Standard Executive Security, Goomba Bully Killnos, and most of all, the AAA Phantom. None of this is possible without you. Once again, thank you for all your support, the energy, and the authenticity you bring to this space. Until next time, family, stay safe, stay locked in, and when you see me in the streets, holler at me and say, put me in the game, Coach Smook. Catch you on the next one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Speaking of contributions and donations, we want to take a moment and acknowledge that this is Autism Awareness Month. We support that heavily. I've been supporting autism awareness for 20. When did I join the Most Wanted Car Club? That was 20. I want to say 2014, 2015-ish. Yeah, 2014. So we've been doing things with autism awareness. I'm actually going to put together a slideshow to show the history of Coach Smook and the Coach Smook Network supporting autism awareness. So today, we provided a link in the chat. It was pinned in the comments. It's pinned in all of our comments. This is one of our charitable donation opportunities that we take advantage of monthly. Sometimes it's a large amount, sometimes it's a small amount. We donate out of pocket, but also from the network. If you all want to donate directly, that's the link for people that, sweeping down there. we ain't even going to acknowledge it. But that's the donation link. That's a direct link to them. Now, if you want to continue to contribute to the Coach Smook Network, by all means, memberships, super chats, direct donos, everything that's contributed and touches the Coach Smook Network, we do our support for autism awareness. And we will do a segment that's coming up, I think either this Sunday or next Sunday, where we'll kind of talk about autism. We have some people in our community that have been diagnosed with autism and that live this life daily and thrive. And they've been deemed as autistic. So, and we don't treat them no different. We help them. We support them in whatever that looks like. And normalizing life for them. You know, it doesn't hurt me to help someone else have a normal life, so to say. So, and to just create opportunities just to be a good person. That's what I look at it. And so we appreciate y'all for supporting us here at the Coach Smook Network, but that's the way we can support, especially this month with it being an awareness month for autism awareness. And then also we're trying to get a graphic pushed up for our collaboration with Farmers Insurance of Hoover, Alabama, and Frederick Harris for A-Day next Saturday, April 11th. We will have a site. We will put all that information out and do all of our members only content. We'll put location and all of that stuff out there. And then the day of, for people that follow the content, if you're not a member, we'll get to see live and in action where we'll be located, all of that good stuff, and how you can meet up with us, you know, on the move. We'll be on the move on campus all day for April 11th. And it's going to be a good time. I know it is. We got a couple cookouts, things that we've been invited to. So I'll make that available as those invitees have invited us. I will make that available to the community if that is an option. And but I'm definitely going to make myself available to connect with my people. Once again, Autism Awareness Month. Make sure y'all support. Make sure y'all continue to support the Coach Smook Network and continue to run up the likes on the stream, share it. If you're watching it post live and you made it to this point, you might as well go ahead and subscribe. Because that means you enjoy it. You're enjoying it. And if you one of those older people that don't necessarily know how to use technology and understand what I say by subscribing, YouTube has a free subscription feature. So when you subscribe, you're not paying to watch my show. It's absolutely free. To do this this show is free, right? How we earn is not just by super chats and all that stuff and membership. It's literally by you watching, liking something that's free, subscribing something that's free, and sharing something that's free. All right. So do a lot of free work to help a free brother gain something. You know what I'm saying? We free out here. You know what I'm saying? So make your day, man. I hope y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day. I'm your boy, Coach Smook, here on the Coach Smook Network, your favorite Alabama media personality and Alabama football insider. And every time you see me in these streets, you better holler at me. And I mean holler, just like Edric Hill mom and Luke Miss Metza do and my big bro Chuck. When they see me in these streets, they holler at me and they say,
"Put me in the game, Coach Smook."
I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all for y'all support and helping us grow. Continue to be blessed. And y'all have a good day. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Roll Tide, y'all.
Crimson in my veins, talking Bama in the microphone. Look me up on YouTube. True cut straight from the stone. Ain't no selling fairy tales, I'm exposing what they want. Alabama football, yeah, I live it, yeah, I breathe it. From the streets to the bleachers, every angle, yeah, I see it, film study, so militant. I ain't guessing a thing. Break it down, every snap is like a coach of the team. Authenticity above all, that's where I stand. If you ain't a real fan, you'll fail with the fan. They tried to box me in, and I keep it though off the frame. Turn the pressure into power, put my stamp on the game. Put me in the game, coach, in the game. Put me in the game, coach, Smook, that's what they saying. Put me in the game, coach, in the game. Put me in the game, coach. That's what they say.
Players and the staff are pulling up right now for today's scrimmage. Coach David Ballou in the front. Y'all can see everybody pulling up, man. And boys over there, look at Deontay live.
Hey, y'all, I'm walking out of Walmart. Hey, what's your name, bro? Man, my name Michael McKinney, man. I'm a true Alabama fan, and this man does a good job on his podcast.
What's up, bro?
Reviewing Alabama football. Keep doing what you're doing, man.
Appreciate that, bro. Roll Tide, man.